Hey, I'm Tim Eliopoulos with the Ohio Tactical Officer Association, and today with me I have Brent Tucker from First Responder Coffee Company.
Thanks for having me.
Brent, we are extremely happy to have you here today.
Yeah, I'll tell you, we just came from Texas, and we've heard about Ohio. This is our first time in Ohio because we're a new company, and I'm blown away about how busy and big OTOA is.
So this is your first year coming, correct?
It is.
Okay.
Yep.
And compared to other shows you've been to, what do you think comparatively?
We're 3 hours in, and it's already probably the busiest foot traffic show, and I just found out there are several wings to it when we came here. So it was even bigger than I thought of coming here to this.
That's
it's huge.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's learn a little bit about you. How did First Responder Coffee come about?
I'll give it the short story is retired after service at 20 years, started training SWAT teams, and half of them couldn't afford training, or it was just, or they're paying out of pocket for it, and it just, to be honest with you, it disgusted me. So, This was my answer to it, to do something about it. Created First Responders Coffee Company in response to that, and 20% of everything we bring in, we donate back to first responders. And the truth of that is, most of that has gone to law enforcement, both for training, line of duty deaths. Anything where there's a need, if we have the funds, we try to fill it.
That's awesome. So you yourself, though, you did what, 20 years in the Army?
20 years in the Army.
You were a Green Beret?
Yep, I was a Green Beret for eight of those.
And then you did 10 years with Delta Force, correct?
Yep, 10 years at the unit.
Okay, and then so if you first started doing training when you got out, and then after that you just switched, you wanted to go ahead and help people get more training other than just being the one facilitating it.
Right, yeah, and going around training SWAT teams wasn't even really my intention. It was one of those things. I got asked by a buddy to come with him in training, right. And then word of mouth turned into something else, and and it kind of it kind of grew legs. I didn't expect SWAT teams to be funded like the Delta Force. I mean, don't get me wrong. I didn't come into this naively,
Sure.
But what I saw was just for guys that go out and knock on doors day in, day out in their communities. They deserve more than what they're getting.
That's awesome. So one of our goals, we'd love to see you become, one of the biggest coffee companies with all first responders, because honestly, it means a lot to us with what your current mission is by donating back to LE training. It says a lot about you and your character and what your company does. With the coffee itself, I noticed you got a lot of different bags here. They all have different, identities. So talk about a little bit about them.
Yeah, so the concept is, we use Brazilian coffee, so it's not your standard Colombian coffee. We try to be a little bit different in every aspect, because there's a lot of coffee companies out there. So we're one of the few in the first responder space, and like I said, we focus in law enforcement. So that's unique about us. We use Brazilian, single source Brazilian coffee, not Colombian, lower in acidity. It's small batch roasted, so it's not just a good cause. It's really good coffee, as you've heard from people sampling it. And the different bags is where the different is how we channel the money. So the sheriff and police go to law enforcement causes. The K9 bag, we partnered with Canines United, which is a nonprofit. It specifically goes to K9 units. We have a firefighter bag. Don't hate me. And
I wasn't going to say it, but there it is.
We even have a nurse bag. So that's how we divvy up the donations, is the theme of the bag.
All right. Most importantly, how do people get your coffee?
Mainly through online, frccoffee.com is where we do most of our sales. And you can also follow us on Instagram at First Responders Coffee Co. And besides this, the other way, we're always thinking of new ways to expand our line, generate more money, which means generating more money for first responders. Right. I mean, that is, we don't hide it at all. That is what we're enthusiastic about. So next month will be a huge month for us. We're coming out with First Responders Cigar Company. Which,
I heard.
Yep.
Pretty excited about this.
I'm super excited about it. So that'll come out. Hopefully you can start your day with us, and then you can end your day with us. In addition to that, we're also bringing out a bourbon-infused coffee line next month as well. So we continue to grow as a company, because as we support you guys and family and supporters support us back, which is why we've been able to donate almost $10,000 to first responder causes this year alone.
Dude, that's outstanding.
Yeah, and we're hoping to make, and with the, with these new lines, we're hoping to double that by year's end, and that's a goal, and it's an audacious goal, but we think it's something we can do.
You got this. Brent, really appreciate you coming out here today.
Oh, thanks for having me, brother.
All right, man. Take care.
Thanks, Tim.